introduce our first speakers. That is, if I can get my phone to work. This is Stefan and Deborah. And I met this wonderful young couple like 2 days ago, and the first thing that I realized is what a wonderful couple. They actually, in real life, they're also a couple, you know, and they set up, yeah, and they have been together already a very long time, and they told me it was love at first sight, you know, so, you know, they started their own company, and what I sensed when I was talking to them, this wonderful feeling of ambition to have a company, but not only their own company, but also a company that makes impact in the country of Ghana and even maybe abroad. So they have high ambitions. They have very much state-of-the-art technology. Stefan is more into the technology, and Deborah's in marketing, and you will notice when she talks. So hopefully she is not here to sell you something, except then maybe some very good ideas and share their vision. And so Stefan, I think I'd like you to come forward. Please give him a big hand.
Thank you. So my name is Stefan Ngole, right? I'm also a lecturer in Accra University, and I also run my own business, right? So I teach software engineering, databases, and other courses in Accra. So I still do a lot of technical stuff. Yeah, so but today I'm presenting to you some of the products, some of the projects that we have worked on, and why we are here, why we need the Hague University of Applied Science, how our partnership wants to be, the help we need from them. So that's what I'll be talking about. So in Puntu Technologies, who has heard about the company before? In Puntu Technology, that would be surprising. No one has heard about Puntu Technology. But I believe you have used our product several times, but you don't know you have used our product, right? Because we have actually worked with the network operators and most of the banks. So in Puntu Technology, we are into 3 areas of business. So we are into big data and machine learning. My PhD was in big data, and that's why I love this aspect, right? So we are into big data and AI. We are also into software development, and we are also in value-added service. So the 2 other umbrellas serves as a data source for our machine learning platform. Does it make sense to you? So I'm going to elaborate on extensively what we do. In our big data and AI system, we have built a tool called Snole, named after me, right? So Snole, Stefan Ngole, right? And what that tool does is we understand the challenge of what AI does, right? So we try to democratize data science. So we understood that there are certain challenges that present itself anytime an industry wants to go into AI. Issue of scale, issue of high investment cost, issue of a lot of things, right? So we identified all that, and we said, how can we build a platform so that irrespective of the knowledge that you have, you can just tap into our system, the Snole system, and you start utilizing AI. So you don't need to code. It has 0 coding. So you just come, you understand your problem. It does your extraction, your transform, and load. It does your cleaning and automatically picks the algorithm and votes on the best algorithm that will allow you to solve a problem. So the Snole tool, you don't need to be a programmer. All you need to do, you need to understand your problem, and you begin to utilize that. So it does certain things like customer trends analysis, credit scoring, loan financing, advisory, fraud detection, sentiment analysis, and churn prediction.
So the name is Eko Achin Kofi. I'm with the Ghana Innovation Hub. I'm here with my colleague, Amishadai Fori. And at the Ghana Innovation Hub, personally, I want to take advantage of this few minutes I have. How many minutes do I have? 15, okay. Usually when I do sessions like this, I want to leave a few things behind for the audience I speak to. So let's dive right into it. So I'm just going to do a 10 minutes kind of free consultation for some of you, and I'll do the next 5 minutes to introduce myself, what I do, and if you find it interesting, you can find us, get in touch with us, and we will see how to design something suitable for you. How many of you are running businesses here? Let me see by hands. How many of you have business ideas or you are looking to go into business? It looks like the hands are few. You don't like money. So what are some of the business challenges you are facing? This is a free consultation. Stand up, give me what is the business challenge you are facing, and let's see how to address it right here and now. Human resource. What about human resource? Now, you see, there are different perspectives when it comes to human resource. And one of the key challenges with human resource also has to do with what is the capacity of the business. Now, what we have experienced in the nature of what we do is that you see a lot of businesses trying to recruit people with some kind of expertise, certificates, and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they are unable to do the job. And sometimes it's also because these businesses don't understand their own business model. Let me give you an example. So you are running a business that has to do, let's say something like Uber, okay? With that, you need someone who is an expert like our gentleman here who spoke all about the tech, and I was wowed. You need an expert to build you such a platform to be able to deliver that kind of service to your customers. Now, whether you like it or not, Uber does not interface with the using customer. It's the platform that interfaces with the using customer. So in investing in human resource, you need someone who can build that excellent platform, gives the user the kind of user experience they need. Now, with that Uber model, this expert becomes a key resource that Uber is not supposed to joke when they are investing. So for this kind of resource, they have to go all out and pay the best investment or the best kind of motivation, and not to invest so much in big offices. How many of you know where Uber office is? You know where their office is? Why? How come you know where their office is? You had a challenge, so you had to go there. Okay, that's nice. How many of you use Uber? How many of you know where their offices are? You see, you have no idea. It's because they don't have an interaction between you and the office. It's only the platform. So what is critical is how much are you willing to invest in this key resource to get the kind of platform that you need. And sometimes these young guys who come out with the certificates and stuff, it's also because of what you are willing to pay. So sometimes, okay, I want to get 4 people. You want to share the salary amongst 4 people. And these 4 people will come on the job and will not give you the kind of output you need. Maybe you just need 1 person. And put that salary that you spread on the 4 people in paying that 1 person to deliver you that kind of expert results that is able to move your value proposition to the customer and give them the needed kind of results they need. So sometimes you have to check your finances. What is the offer you are giving to that expert? And the question becomes, what is that role of that expert you are trying to bring in on board? And sometimes you have to make the sacrifice, because sometimes they are at the center of your value proposition. If you do not compensate them well, no matter what you do, you don't pay attention to them, you can have all the right infrastructure around the business and still not make the kind of revenue you are looking for, because you are not paying attention to the asset, the key component of that value proposition. So go back and check your finances again. Is that okay? And make the right investment, and I'm sure you get the right kind of people.
I'm Charles Ayoboro Adama with the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Okay, so that will be the format for the presentation. Functions of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. The ministry basically is in charge of policy formulation, monitoring and evaluation, supporting with the development of technologies and the dissemination of such. Also, after developing policies, they have to be implemented. Therefore, programs, projects, plans have to be developed. And then these have to be funded, budgets. So the ministry focuses on these. Now, at the decentralized levels, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture is decentralized. What it means is that at the regional and district levels, the departments of agriculture are not under Ministry of Food and Agriculture, but under the Ministry of Local Government. So a lot of times when you need support, you don't have to come to the ministry itself. You should go to the district or regional offices. and you get support. Okay, so this is a broad overview what the ministry has been able to do in terms of performance, employment of about 38% of the labor force in Ghana, contribution of about 20% to GDP, and it grows at a rate of 4.8. When you look at the employment, you see the number has fallen. Previously, it was over 50% in agriculture in Ghana, but it has reduced to 38%. Economists say that it is good because as the economy develops, more people move from primary production into industry and services. So it is a good trend. If our production and productivity don't reduce, then we are on a good trajectory. And this is the policy environment that the ministry operates within. At the continental level, we have the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. At the continental level, we have the CADEP, Comprehensive Africa Agricultural Development Program. Then we come to the sub-region, West Africa, we have the ECOWAS Agricultural Policy. Then at the national level, we have FASDEP, that's the Food and Agric Development Policy. So everything we are doing is located within these. We are not operating in a silo.
I want to know students by hand, those who are students. Okay. I'm now going to talk to you so that you draw inspiration from me and know what you have to do next in life. And you have to start right here at school. Doctor was showing a lot of things, AI, artificial intelligence. And he would tell you that in artificial intelligence, there's what we call statistics behind it. And on top of the statistics is what we call data pre-processing. If your data pre-processing, which involve data collection and your statistics, you must not be a math genius. Or you must not necessarily be a math genius to become an AI expert. You must be able to ask questions yourself and answer them. We'll see a few things here. Sorry, I didn't mention my name. I'm Joe Richard. I work with Ghana Audit Service. I have two things to show you here. One of them is a product we built in-house in Ghana Audit Service. And product number two, I'll show you live. Product number two is a personal project I'm building myself. What does it intend to do? I think one day, when that project completely is done, it can go into medicine to help pharmaceutical companies do personal medication. Maybe NASA is looking for the next planet. And in our Milky Way galaxy, where do we find another star where it has a sun and another planet just like Earth moving around it? We have what we call Kepler now. I know some of you are following it, which is looking for another Earth so that we can go and colonize it one day. How do we use artificial intelligence to get there? How do we use artificial intelligence to be able to say, oh, tomorrow Kotoko is going to play Barcelona and Kotoko is going to win? Is it possible? It's crazy, right? I have an opportunity, before I start, I have an opportunity to do an audit in the Ghana Hague Commission in London. So in the evening, I'll take a spare time and work with a company called Jump Trading. You know, in UK, they do with a lot of forex trading. They deal with a lot of AI, artificial intelligence. Let me say, everything is money in UK. So when I saw their system, from their mathematics unit, the AI unit, then the data lab unit, then I asked them, what is your accuracy level? Then they mentioned that they are doing 56. Sometimes when they are lucky, they move to 60. Then I told them that I can give them a system That is more than 80, 90%. And they say, no, you are a joke. In football, it's not possible. How do you know whether if the person has injury or not? What if the referee is biased? I say, hold on. So maybe I'll show you some of the few systems here. You guys heard of Oswald before? Who has heard of Oswald before? Wow. A guy heard of Oswald. I was in Rwanda. And he WhatsApped me. He said, Charlie Richard, come out. Come out. Come out. I said, no. I don't need to come out. I'll show you a bit of how you can be Oswald today. I know you are happy. Yeah. So this is it. You can be an entrepreneur right from where? School. I will be able to share, maybe I can share some code with you and data with you so that this information are abundant online. You can Google some of them. If you don't understand, you read. You see how you learn. You learn by studying and applying, and with time, you don't have to learn, you just apply it intuitively.
I want to thank the Hague University and Accra Technical University for putting together this. Yesterday we had the opportunity to meet, and I think it was a very fruitful discussion. My name is Kwame Asamoah Mensah-Yosing, and my job is that I'm the project manager for GRIPE. I don't know whether there's anybody who has heard about GRIPE so far. Okay, no problem. So we're going to talk about it today. So when we talk about GRIPE, as you can see from the presentation, GRIPE is an industry-led initiative. So GRIPE is an acronym that stands for Ghana Recycling Initiative by Private Enterprises. So it comes together as GRIPE. For some of us in Ghana, or people in Ghana, will know that some years back there was this issue of flooding that happened about 4-5 years ago, and there was a call for solutions into what really caused it. And if we realized there were this call by people that, okay, I think it's plastics that are causing this, so why don't we ban plastics? So there was a call for a ban on plastics, and government, as a knee-jerk reaction to everything, wanted to ban plastics. But the question was, now we have a problem of plastics, but how can we go around this problem and create a solution around that? So we had 8 multinational companies coming together in 2007. I'll talk about who these companies are. Sat down under the umbrella of AGI, that's the Association of Ghana Industry, the leading private sector organization in Ghana, to see that how can we come together and solve this plastic problem once and for all. So 8 companies came together under AGI to form GRIPE, and the purpose was mainly to ensure that we have sustainable waste management solutions in Ghana. So let's look at the membership of GRIPE. So GRIPE started with 8 companies, like I said. So we have Unilever, I'm sure you all know Unilever. We have Guinness Ghana, we have Coca-Cola, we have Dow Chemicals, we have PZ Cousins, we have Voltec Ghana, we have Nestle Ghana, and then Farm Mill Ghana. So these companies came together to form GRIPE. And these companies are the founding members of GRIPE as well. So they were the founding members and the funding members of GRIPE as well. So every activity that GRIPE does comes from these companies, okay? And throughout time, we had new companies joining. So now we have a group called Mohinani Group. I don't know, they are one of the leading plastic producers in Ghana. So we'll talk about something like Polytank. Yeah, it comes from Mohinani. Then we have Accra Brewery Limited, also a member of GRIPE as well. We have KGM Industries and Fine Park. So currently we have 12 companies coming together to tackle the plastic problem. Hopefully by the end of March, we should have about 2 more companies joining. So we have Luguzit coming on board, and then another company by name Peanut Ricard. So we should have about 14 companies coming on board in March, all with the aim of looking at the plastic problem. Okay. Now let's see what is the reason behind the formation of GRIPE in the first place. Why the need for GRIPE? So one of the main purposes of GRIPE is to improve waste management practices in Ghana, which sits with the UNDP SDG goal 11, which is sustainable cities and communities. So that's one of the first goals of GRIPE. Secondly, GRIPE wants to contribute to increase recycling rates in Ghana, which sits with SDG goal 12, which is responsible consumption and production. And then we want to also connect the various organizations in Ghana in the plastic space to be able to bring about solutions to plastics in Ghana. So that sits with SDG goal 9, which is industry, innovation, and infrastructure.
We're going to take one or two finishing up comments from our Pro-Vice Chancellor who is here. We're also going to have a comment from our AAU Chairman, Dr. Makuku, also. So, Provici, I think you have the floor to motivate and say, to pep us up with some word for you.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm very excited about the blockchain. I was telling Dr. Winful that I'm also going to learn it because one day I don't want to watch on the telly and say, multimillionaire was my student. That billionaire was my student. What about me? So I'm also going to learn the blockchain so that I can also apply it and become a consultant, run around, make a lot of money. So we are not, someone says, don't lose guard. So I want to assure our partners, our students and staff that blockchain is part of the courses in the curriculum that we are designing for the straight 4-year BTech programs. And we have included it in the proposal that was submitted to the NCT.
Wearing the shoes of the Secretary General of the Association of African Universities, Professor Etienne Ehile, I just want to thank all who have selflessly contributed to this event. And I wish we were in a much bigger place with more people drawn from everywhere because I remember when I started hearing about blockchain and what has already been done, I did a workshop in Zambia around April for the universities because we are the apex body for higher education. And that time, I just managed to facilitate one guy who is in Botswana University of Agriculture and Natural Resources. He had to go all the way to Europe and air tickets and what, and he went there for like a month or so just to study blockchain. And so when we have people like this who are just saying, come here for free and listen to this, it's a wealth of knowledge and we don't need to take it for granted. And there's one thing I want to applaud for those, the group of students. I know they are not working alone. And all the stakeholders and partners involved that when I go around doing institutional workshops, I ask the people, so what do you commit for community engagement? The maximum is 10%, but SDGs are coming from the communities. And it's high time we scale up our community engagement as universities from just less than 5% to something between 35 and 40%. Because why am I saying so? This blockchain, if we know about it, for example, the one who presented on agriculture, and then there is nobody who is inputting data on agriculture, it will be wasted effort because we depend on data. And it's very sad to say that the most important and critical aspect that we want to deal with, which is data, is not there. People don't have the culture of capturing data, the culture of sharing data. So if we don't have this prerequisite, we can talk about blockchain, we can know about blockchain, but where will we apply it when we don't have the requisite block which we need? So in the same vein, when we are learning about blockchain, I think we should move in a dual or a dovetailing process of encouraging data collection, encouraging data capturing, and then now use that data to illustrate to people why then it is important to capture data and store it so that the blockchain can be realized. We can't realize it without data. And it's so sad to say, when I also attended one ACBF thing, people are just lamenting about data, non-availability of data. And it's one area then we need to work on so that we have data capturing and we have this. Then the other thing, I'm sorry I talk too much. The other thing which I've learned from here is networking and teamwork, collaboration as opposed to competition, complementarity. Do you hear my C's? These are the C's which can move us, as opposed to a competition and conflict. Do you see? I've got competition and conflict on one side, but complementarity, collaboration, and cooperation, these are the strong C's that we need to pursue and make sure we are working on them. And once again, I just want to acknowledge particularly also the gentleman and our lecturer from Hague, the gentleman from the audit. The way you also devoted yourselves to simplify issues and to make sure you express things in a way that even a lay person can understand. Let's clap hands for them. Ladies and gentlemen, I've always laughed at politicians. You want to become a member of parliament. You go to campaign maybe in the rural areas, but you are using this vocabulary and English, not even the vernacular. So who will hear you about your campaigning strategy and your promises? No one. So we need to contextualize whatever we do. So this thing has been contextualized because now people are able to understand. You can't expect people to be having a dictionary every 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, every 3 seconds, because in one sentence you have like 4 or 5 big words which a person cannot even understand what you are trying to say. I also want to thank the agriculture person. I also want to thank the gentleman from, yes, I'm not here to thank people, but I just want to follow with acknowledgements of how they've contributed to make this event worthwhile having. We thank everybody who came to make a contribution. I think he has also put it in a very simpler terms, the way that they work with the networks in order for people to get a service. What I want to tell you is that money is available everywhere. I don't know how people are poor. I don't know. I don't know. So can I have somebody to answer for me? Who is followed by money? You don't need to look for money, but money will follow you. Who is followed by money? Money follows people, but tell me the kind of person who is followed by money. There's a hand up. Yes? Exactly. Let's clap hands for it. If you have solutions to people's problems, money will follow you. Look at Bill Gates. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. And at a point when we started having Android, you realize that, which is this phone? Huh? No. The one which refused, it was a popular one. Nokia. They refused to come into partnership with those who did Android. And what happened to them? Those who took it, what happened to them? Samsung, what? Now they are Huawei, they are now prominent. So it still tells us a lot about collaboration. You can't do it alone. And it takes me to another thing, multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary approaches. Even when you have the blockchain, how are you going to get to people? We need somebody, we need bridges which will get us to where we want to go, to those stakeholders whom we want to connect with. As the Association of African Universities, we work with the higher education community, and we do a lot also. We are even looking at how we can partner with them, because with universities, we are already in partnership, and do more. How can the Association of African Universities also come in to play a key role? Our doors are open to everyone. We should work together and make our world a better place to live. And I just want to thank you for this grand opportunity.
So I have here the Pro Vice Chancellor at the Accra Technical University to help us with the collaboration with the Hague University in the blockchain programming. Sir, what is the intention behind this collaboration with the Hague University on blockchain programming for the students?
Well, thank you very much. Now we are a training institution. We are supposed to produce graduates who are fit for the world of work. Now there are emerging technologies that we call disruptive technologies. And if we don't give students the training in these skills, they'll go out there and then they'll be unemployed. We have the blockchain, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, robotics, drone technology, and other technologies. So the blockchain is part of the technologies that we have to embrace and make sure that we build our capacity in them, so that we can teach the students, so that they can be relevant at the world of work.
I think this collaboration with Hague University is to help ATU to move a step further. Our intention now is to not let our students just write project work and put it down, but rather the project work is now going to be a product. Students are now supposed to finish here and end up with a product. We don't want our students to finish and join the Graduate Unemployment Association. We want our students to finish and they have something to do. If you look at what we had this morning, you realize that we brought a lot of industry partners, people who are really touching Ghana in terms of the environment, in terms of creating jobs, in terms of letting us know that there are a lot of jobs around us, things that we think has no value, we can add value to it. So we brought them here so that the student will know it's not just going for gold, it's not just going for things that glitter, but almost we have everything around us and we can do a lot with that. So these industry players that we brought here, we have all their contact. We are going to link up with our students, and then as they come out with a project topic, the project topics are not going to be imaginary ones. They are going to be based on what we discussed here. We are also going to visit them, and the problems, you pick the problems and then pick it up. At the end of their 4 years or their 3 years, depending on whatever program they are doing, we expect to see a product. We know it's a big challenge. Because of the support of our management, we believe we can do it.
When we talk about blockchain, people always get confused. They talk about money, 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 money. Blockchain is not money. Blockchain is much more than money only. So I would like you, when you talk about blockchain, look at the solution, look at the problem that blockchain can solve. And one of the problems that blockchain can solve is the land registration. This is an example that I already gave. here in Ghana, there are a lot of dispute in line because it's not properly registered. What if we were to use this technology to put that correct in a platform where there's transparency and trust? I'm going to give you another example. Education is so expensive here in Africa. Many people don't get access to education because they simply cannot pay. But what if we were to share, because blockchain is about a ledger, open ledger, that we all share the same book, so that we put all our knowledge in that ledger and we share the knowledge. It is transparent. You can get it everywhere at any time without have to pay anything, and it is secure, so you cannot falsify it. So that is the power of blockchain. That's what it's going to save and then change and revolutionize the life of people in Africa.
Hello, what's your name?
Felix Yani.
How did you find today's event, and what is your take out of the event?
Okay, this was a very innovative event. It really opened my mind to a lot of things, because there was something that was even pondering through my brain, that there are a lot of things that we face around our communities and even in our country per se. Because talking about data, okay, it's really difficult for us to get data when it comes to solving problems, because all solving problems is based on data. So if you don't have it, you don't get it. So bringing on board this blockchain allows all the public to get this information, this data, to help solve the problems that are around the country per se. Okay, so it's very good, and if we do indulge in it, I'm sure there's something great coming out of it.
Since AAU is an apex body for higher education institutions in Africa, and we have students in these institutions who really want to engage in blockchain, what is the contribution of AAU to support, help promote blockchain programming in Africa?
Thank you very much. I think here in Ghana it's coming now, but I want to believe in other African countries. By last year and late 2018, they already had it. And what we need is, as the Association of African Universities, is to bring collaboration of institutions and encourage them to share knowledge and information as well as skills. Because, for example, if Stellenbosch University, Makerere or University of KwaZulu-Natal knew about blockchain in 2018, then they were also supposed to share with the fellow universities and now make it work. Because as the Association of African Universities, we are the apex body in higher education, and we need to create platforms for discussion and also to bring people together, so that it happens, the collaboration, the complementarity and all that should happen, the teamwork actually, in order to push the rest of the African higher education forward.
Great. So what do you see as the future of blockchain programming in Africa from your view?
No, it can be very good, because look at the Bitcoin thing, that it's using the blockchain phenomenon. So, for example, even here at the Association of African Universities, it would be very good for us to work in collaboration with the universities, so that we collect data in those universities and put it together